Tonight, former Cincinnati Councilwoman Tamaya Dennard has been indicted by a grand jury. It happened just minutes before Councilman P.G. Sittenfeld recommended Cincinnati Herald publisher Jan-Michelle Lemon-Kearney to fill her seat. Dennard's facing the same charges she was arrested on in February. Those are bribery, wire fraud, and attempted extortion. She'll now go back to court to be rearraigned Monday afternoon.
Cincinnati's city manager has agreed to review Dennard's work after her arrest on federal corruption charges just 2 weeks ago. Councilman Greg Landsman asked 1 week ago for it, but there's still no word on when that will happen.
Investigative reporter Paula Christian showed Landsman documents related to one proposal by Dennard to spend $500,000 on a project that he says has red flags.
Freeman Street. It's in the heart of Cincinnati's West End, and some who live there say it's in need of new life.
We'd love to see Freeman Street just activated more with storefronts.
Tia Brown is the Community Engagement Director for a neighborhood agency that is seeking revitalization.
We were excited whenever we got a phone call from Ms. Dennard's office about, interest in wanting to do something with Freeman.
Brown says former City Councilwoman Tamaya Dennard approached her about creating a black entertainment district here called the Freeman District. A city ordinance shows Dennard's vision had a $500,000 price tag. Dennard wanted to take money from the city's weather reserves since we had a mild winter. Councilman David Mann says he had too many questions to support it.
I'm not interested in taking up the possible appropriation of $500,000 when I have no idea what the purpose would be of the appropriation.
Mann chairs the Budget and Finance Committee. He says he refused to put Dennard's ordinance on the agenda for a vote because of questions. FBI agents arrested Dennard on February 25th, a day before she was set to speak to City Council about the idea. The ordinance states the city would work with Economic Development Agency, the Port, on the Freeman District project. But Port CEO Laura Bronner says she knew nothing about it. She tells the I-Team in a statement, "This is the first we are learning of the ordinance."
I'm not surprised the Port would be mentioned. I am surprised the Port didn't know anything about it.
Mann was also surprised when the I-Team showed him a list of property owners on Freeman Avenue, including many newly formed LLCs that had bought land over the past year. It can be difficult to track the true owner of a property through an LLC.
In light of your research on the ownership of the properties on Freeman Avenue, yes, I'm very interested to know who the principals are behind those LLCs. And is there any connection?
The Freeman District proposal also raises questions for Councilman Greg Landsman.
All of those are legitimate red flags, and so I think we have to discard the ordinance, but not the idea.
Landsman wants the city to research creating a multicultural business district, but not using Dennard's proposed ordinance. He says he is concerned about Dennard's votes and legislation. Last week, after Dennard resigned, he asked the city manager and solicitor to do an internal review of her work.
We need to make sure that we're fully transparent. If there were irregularities or issues, that we make that public.
Like Landsman, Tia Brown also doesn't want the idea of an entertainment district to die.
We need as much support as a city level as possible in the West End.
We reached out to Dennard's attorney but have not heard back. We also reached out to the city manager's office and they also did not respond. On another note, Dennard is due back in federal court next week. If you want to learn more about that, you can read my story on WCPO.com.